Hello, BookTube. Hello, friends. Welcome to Lizziefaye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth. It is a gray, rainy day here in Central Florida, much like most other summer days here in Central Florida, but I have waited too late in the day, really, to do this well, but I am determined to get something up and running for you today. It has been over a week since I have uploaded a video. I did film something last Saturday that would have kind of been a Friday Reads, but I stayed behind the camera and I went back, looked at it, and thought, I'm not even gonna upload it. So I have just not had time to film anything in the past week since then because my daughter Katie and I have been doing some seriously major house cleaning and organizing and deep cleaning here at our home, and we've gotten so much done. So I have been inspired to just, keep working at it. I, of course, do things when she's at work, but when she's here, she is a good taskmaster. She gets me going, and it's been great. So I appreciate her so much for that, for kind of, lighting a fire under me, as they say, and getting me going. We have cleaned out our pantry and our food cabinet, and we're getting ready to do the Eat to Live diet. Now, she doesn't need to lose any weight, but she has just recently transitioned from vegetarian to vegan, and my husband is willing to do this with me. My daughter Emily also needs to lose a little bit of weight, according to her doctor. I need to lose a lot of weight. So we've been going through all the food and just trying to use up what doesn't fit with the diet. My sister's going to do this with me as well. She's not quite finished with the book, and I am finished with it. So while she is reading, I am trying to rid our pantry of all the food that is not going to cut it on this diet. And then after that, I really just want to make a lifestyle change. So we are excited about starting this diet. Now, in the past, I've been a big proponent of keto, and you can lose a lot of weight on keto. Back in 2015, Emily and I did it, and we lost both 40 pounds. But unfortunately, I put all of my weight back on, and she has put a little bit on since then. So the doctor wants her to lose 20 pounds, and I need to lose a lot more than that. So anyway, this is Eat to Live by Dr. Joel Furman. It is a mostly vegetarian diet, and so that fits with what Katie's eating for the most part, and well, it's really mostly vegan, actually, and so I think it's going to be great. So we are excited about that. But meanwhile, Katie and I have been cleaning, like, the utility room, the back porch, the living room, here in the office. I have been organizing all of my extra books that won't fit on shelves. I've been filing papers. I have just been I've been getting stuff in the mail that needs to be mailed. It's been great. And a lot of times in the summer, that's kind of when I get inspired to do things like that. And in the past, I have taken off a few weeks off of BookTube to work on getting that kind of stuff done. But this year, I didn't want to do that. I thought, I'm just going to keep plugging along. But it is hard to juggle both, because by the time you get done with a big cleaning and organizing project for the day, you really don't want to shower, change, get dressed, and get camera ready. So, that's kind of a challenge. And if I get up in the morning set to do a video, sometimes that's all I get done. So anyway, let me just show you, I do want to quickly just go through what I've read this month, but I will not tell you anything about these books, but you'll just get a quick view of what I've read this month. And then I will, of course, we're just a week away from the end of July, so I'll be doing a wrap-up, maybe even a couple. I've read a lot of mysteries this month. I've been doing the Killing It with Cozy's Summer Challenge, where we read a book that starts with S-U-M-M-E-R, and I'm on R now, so I have finished almost all of those, plus other mysteries, and I still have a few left to read. So when I get done with all the mysteries I want to read for this month, I'll do a mystery wrap-up, and then, everything else as well. So I'm doing some buddy reads and reading some big books. I've just got a lot of reading projects going, and they're all going well. And let me just go through real quick what I have finished. So I already showed you the one nonfiction book that I have finished this month, and that is Eat to Live. The very first book I finished early in the month is The Masterpiece by Francine Rivers. I read this with Becca from Hicks Picks Books. She did a read-along of that. The only book club book that I have read this month is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E.Schwab. We've already discussed this, and I really enjoyed it. The other book club book for my mystery book club was The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hartcastle, which I read a couple months earlier. So I am currently working on a book club book for August, and I'm about 20% done. The Starless Sea by Erin Morganstern, and which is not this book. They're both black. Okay, look, you know, you can see why I would grab one. It's not the other. The Starless Sea by Erin Morganstern. This is one of my big books and buddy reads. I am reading this with Elizabeth Tyree, The Labyrinth of Spirits by Carlos Ruiz Zafon. We have about 100 pages left to go in that, so we'll probably finish that up this weekend. And I've got some other buddy reads, but meanwhile, I didn't intend to show you that yet. I'm still showing you what I have finished this month so far. 3 middle grade books. One Newbery winner from the 1950s, Ginger Pie by Eleanor Estes, and then 2 of the Sunshine State books. A Bloom by Kenneth Oppel. I have threads for this, discussion threads on my Goodreads group, Lizziefaye's Comfy Corner. Several of us have already finished this, but it's not too late to read it. This is a story about plants that sort of take over and start eating people, and it's kind of crazy, but if you like that sort of thing, then you might want to read it. This is a great survival story, Wildfire by Rodman Philbrick. Sorry. I really enjoyed that. That was great. And then I finished all of the books in my author binge project that I had intended to read in June, but didn't get to. One more book by Lori Wilde, The Welcome Home Garden Club. This is book 4 in the Twilight Texas series. This is a romance. It didn't get steamy till right at the end, and even that wouldn't have been so bad if I just don't like the language that she uses. It comes out kind of trashy, and the story, though, I really enjoyed, but the trashy sex scenes I could do without. Then the other 4 are Christian fiction. I finished the last 2 books in the Tucker Mills trilogy by Lori Wick, Leave a Candle Burning and Just Above a Whisper. I liked both of these better than the first book, which was Moonlight on the Millpond. And then 2 standalones by Lori Copeland, Monday Morning Faith. I didn't love this one as much as the other 2. Roses Will Bloom Again. This one was really good. And the one I read last month, Now and Always, I thought was fantastic. So all very good. Up to this point, I had really just mainly focused on series by Lori Copeland, and I have several standalones on my shelf, so I wanted to get to at least 3 of them, and so now I have, so that's great. Then the mysteries that I have been reading. I read 2 from the Cackleberry Club by Laura Childs. I read Steak and Eggs, which is book 4, and then Eggs in a Casket, which is book 5, and I had to kind of fly through a lot of these because I checked out several books on audio on Hoopla at the end of June, and because of everything else I was reading, I kind of got down to the wire where I had like 8 books left and 5 or 6 days before they were all going to expire. So I really flew through the first 5 books for the summer Killing It with Cozy's Summer Challenge. I will leave a link to their Discord group down below. Killing It with Cozy's is hosted by Ro from Cozy Reads Mystery. I think she changed her name to Cozy Ro. She used to have some videos, but I think she's deleted those. Anyway, she is the monitor of the group, or the moderator of the group. She's great. And then Tiffany from the Beach Bum Bookworm has a whole channel devoted to cozy mysteries and romance, so I want to encourage you to check that out. So they are doing a summer cozy mystery challenge where you read books you try to find books with the titles that start with S-U-M-M-E-R. If you can't find one that you want to read that starts with it, as long as that letter is in the title somewhere, and A and B don't have to count. So for my S book, I read A Stitch in Time by Monica Ferris. This is book 3, I believe, in the Needlecraft Mystery Series. For You, I read Unraveled Sleeve, the next book in that series. And then for my first M book, I read the next book in that series, A Murderous Yarn. And then for the next M, because you're spelling out S-U-M-M-E-R, so for my next M, I read A Murder in an Irish Village by Carleen O'Connor. This is book 1 in the is it Irish Village Mystery? I don't know. I have to read the Christmas one of this book in December for my book club. So I wanted to go ahead and get started on this. I think they're on Hoopla, and I will go ahead and try to listen to all the ones in between so that I'm ready for the Christmas book when Christmas rolls around. So then for my ebook, I counted Eggs in a Casket by Laura Childs, which I already just showed you. Now, this one could have counted as my S book, but I already had these three for S, U, and M, and I just wanted to count those. So I listened to Steak and Eggs first, and then I read these three, and then Murder in an Irish Village. And then the last morning, when everything was going to expire, at 2:50 p.m., I listened to this. I got all done, except like 2.5 chapters. And then it expired. I had to read the last little bit in print. So now I say that. I usually, when I get done with the book, I go ahead and return it. I don't hold on to it until it expires. I go ahead and return it. I don't think it matters for Hoopla because no one's waiting on it. Like Overdrive, if you're done with a book and you're just sitting on it waiting until it expires, don't do that because somebody's waiting, somebody may be waiting on that book because it's just a, one in, one out kind of deal. Like, not one in, one out. What am I trying to say? People are, there's a waiting list for books on Overdrive. But Hoopla, I don't think there are. But anyway, if I'm done, I don't like for it to be cluttering up my, my app. I want to just go ahead and return it if I'm not going to come back to it. So anyway, that is what I have finished. Also, since I mentioned this buddy read that I'm doing with Elizabeth Tyree, I also read the short story in this series. The series is the Cemetery of Forgotten Books. This is book 4, and I think this is going to be the final book in the series. There's a short story that's book 2.5, and it's called The Rose of Something. I can't remember. And I read that on ebook. And I read that this past weekend because Donna from Studio in the Library issued a challenge to those of us in her Goodreads group to read all your short stuff. Try to get as many things read over this past weekend as you could. So I read that, and I also read Wildfire that I've already shown you. And I think it was already past the weekend, but I did read this with Emily. I gotta show you this book. This is adorable. We got this from the Bookmobile. It's called Too Many Carrots, and it's basically about this little rabbit who is hoarding carrots. He can't even fit into his house because he's hoarding carrots. And he goes around talking to all his different animal friends, and they all invite him to live with them. And he systematically ends up accidentally destroying all of their homes. And he finally comes back around full circle and realizes that carrots are not made for collecting. They're made for sharing. And there's good lessons here for us adults as well. So by the end, spoiler alert, he ends up having a big carrot party and sharing all of his carrots in his nice cozy rabbit hole where there's plenty of room as long as you're not hoarding something. And, here I've been, doing all this cleaning and organizing, and I'm reading a book like this thinking, yeah, I need to read that. So anyway, it's super cute. What am I currently reading? So I have already mentioned a couple of things. The last book I'm reading for the Cozy Mystery Summer Challenge is my R book, Recipes for Love and Murder by Sally Andrew. This is the first book in the Tanny Maria mysteries. I think there's only 2 right now. This is set in South Africa, and the only thing I really have read that I would compare it to is the No. 1 Ladies Detective Agency. And I don't think this is quite as endearing as the No. 1 Ladies, but it's growing on me, definitely. And I'll be excited to tell you more about it later. It's very food-centric. There's about 30 pages of recipes in the back. There's also a glossary, thankfully, of all the words that she uses. There's like 6 pages of glossary, which I just found today after I'm a third of the way through the book. And I need to sit down and read through all the words that I don't know. And then I will have a little better idea of what she's talking about. A couple of other buddy reads. We're about 3 stories from finishing this book of 9 short stories called the Homestead Brides Collection. I'm reading this with Bobby Sue Davis. I will link her Instagram page below. And I'm also buddy reading, we've been reading the Welcome to Tyler series for a few years now. I'm buddy reading this with Mandy Garrett. Her channel name is The Night Owl, and we're about halfway done with this one. We just started this a few days ago, reading a chapter a day. This is book 8 in the Welcome to Tyler series called Bachelor's Puzzle by Ginger Chambers. And then I also have a few nonfiction books that I'm reading. Oh, if I don't drop everything. For a long time, since January, I started this one, The Declutter Challenge by Cassandra Arson, and I finally picked it back up recently because I was sort of stalled on this one project, and now that we've been doing so much cleaning and organizing, I was finally able to finish that project, work through it. I worked through the next chapter, and who knows, I may finish this by the end of the month. And I also picked this up from the Bookmobile. I showed this in an earlier video, The Complete Book of Home Organization. This is by Toni Hammersley. Her Instagram page is A Bowl Full of Lemons. She may have a website by that name as well. And thank you. I think it was Leanne from Dark Roots Creation who told me that she followed her on Instagram. And so that made me go, oh, okay. So now I follow her on Instagram too. This is a beautiful book with lots of wonderful photography. And I've been enjoying reading just a few pages a day in that book. And then this is a book I've been reading ever since I first brought it up a couple months ago. This is, I hesitate to call this a devotional book. I've had it on my shelves for a while, and when I first started really trying to get more serious with weight loss, and I had finished, I guess after I'd finished reading the Bible in 90 days and finished reading Mere Christianity, I picked this up, or maybe it was before I read Mere Christianity, I don't even know, thinking that maybe it would be a good Jesus-centered devotional that centered, or that dealt with weight loss. It's not a Jesus-centered devotional. This is probably maybe more from a Unitarian background, but it is an inspirational book about weight loss, and so I'm reading it. I could probably finish it by the end of the month. I haven't been reading just one a day. I've been reading 2 to 4 every day, and it is written and edited by Colleen Zook and Elaine Meyer. Anyway, it's called Daily Word for Weight Loss. So if you're looking for a very Christ-centered devotional book, this is not it, but it does have some inspirational words to help you motivate you for weight loss. And that's about it. That's all I brought in here to show you. So I do have several videos planned coming very soon. If I don't get to them very soon, it's because I'm cleaning my house and I have so much left to do. But I will try to at least get one video done before next Friday and before the end of the month, and maybe 2. I've got some book hauls that I need to do and a few other ideas, so we'll just see how it goes. But meanwhile, I am still here, I'm still reading, and I'm cleaning, and I thank you so much for watching. Thank you for helping me get to 2,000 subscribers, and I just appreciate you guys so much. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.